for Switch, will Marvel Rivals be able to run on the Nintendo Switch 2? I've thought about this quite a bit because, as you can tell, they're adding voice chat, so Nintendo players will be able to hear me. I will not be silenced. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, however, I am hoping potentially maybe it will. There are obviously some challenges that the Marvel Rivals team have presented. However, it is able to run on pretty bad machines, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen some people with like 20 series cards get away with low graphics, especially with the updated storage, the potential NVMe SSD, and the way more powerful not only screen but the hardware specs. If they really wanted to make Marvel Rivals on the Switch 2, it could do well. I know that they have outright rejected the Nintendo Switch 1. However, I would love to hear their opinions on the Nintendo Switch 2. So I thought that it would be fun to read the specs of not only the Nintendo Switch 2, but also Marvel Rivals on Steam. I'm going to read out the minimum graphics because I feel like that is only fair. This comes straight from the Steam page, so if you're wondering where I got this from, you can absolutely check yourself. If you don't know, I have been in hardware for quite a bit now. I do study it. I built not only my own machine, but my father's machine. He was the first generation gamer. He built so many computers. My first PC was a custom build he made. So I do have, I have a history with this stuff. I would like to know that I think I know what I'm talking about, but so without further ado, let's read the minimum specs, and I'm not going to get into the OS because I don't believe this is available on Apple. However, this does work for Windows 10 64-bit. So for the CPU, the processor for Intel is the i5 6600K or the AMD Ryzen 5 1600X. Now, for the Nintendo Switch, the CPU is a custom processor made by NVIDIA, and this, CPU/GPU, so I do believe they are separate. They aren't integrated onboard graphics. Unfortunately, I do not see any specs about how many cores or the hertz of it. It literally just says custom processor made by NVIDIA on the website. Oh, that sucks. Okay. That's a lot of fun. So, unfortunately, because of the lack of information with not only the graphics, but the processor, I can't really do a whole lot about that. By the time of me recording this, I don't think anything is leaked about it. We're gonna have to wait for, I don't know, like Linus Tech Tips to rip open and individually count the the cores, I guess. All good. All right. So for the RAM, it recommends 16 gigabytes, which is the industry standard, I would believe, when it comes to gaming. That is also the recommended specs. Let me check. Okay, I don't see memory anywhere on the Nintendo Switch website except for micro SD memory cards. Wow, they really don't give a shit, huh? Yeah, I don't see that. Suspicious as hell. I don't see anything in regards on the official website. Okay, I'm on Eurogamer now because I just want to see. I just want to know. I would love to know. Okay. So we finally have a comparison, courtesy of Eurogamer. If anything is a little bit off, blame them, don't crucify me. Alright. So, the Switch 2 has an 8X ARM. Cool. Alright. So, there's a docked and a mobile spec here. 998 megahertz docked and 1101 megahertz mobile, so that is handheld. That is not too shabby, and I think that could run... So the Ryzen 5 1600X megahertz goes up to 1.3. If you overclock it to filth, you can get up to 4 gigahertz. However, the base clock is 100 megahertz. So the base clock for the CPU is actually less than the docked and the mobile. So it would look very bad, and it would have to have specific optimization to make it look good. However, I still think it is able to run. Now for the memory, it does have a 128-bit. This is a LPDDR5. Usually graphics cards, so I can speak for the NVIDIA GTX 1060 or the AMD RX 580. I had the RX 570, and I can tell you that mine, I believe, had 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and the Intel Arc A380. I'm not familiar with Intel. I haven't had a graphics card from them, so I will be ignoring that because I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. So, oh wow, 1 gigahertz docked and 5601 megahertz mobile. Okay, so it does go up to gigahertz, which is very impressive. I believe if you were going to play Marvel Rivals on your Switch 2, it would probably have to be docked. I don't see very many people playing Marvel Rivals mobily, especially when you need a very good internet connection, because it's all online unless you play Practice versus AI. I believe that would be available offline, but even to connect to the servers, you do need an internet connection. Playing handheld Marvel Rivals also sounds like a free hand-tan, the way that would actually slaughter you. So, if you want to play Marvel Rivals handheld for God knows whatever reason, I think you're a sociopath. We're only gonna count docked because reading the specs, not preferred. And honestly, you would be doing it to yourself, alright? The memory docked is 110. No, oh my god, 102 gigabytes docked. There we go. That's not too shabby, considering the lower graphics of the 1060 is a lot less than this. The NVIDIA RTX 250 is 96 gigabytes a second, and that is the memory bandwidth of the VRAM. VRAM wise, it will be able to run it, once again, not very well. The additional notes are saying having the game on an SSD drive for a better experience. I say no shit, and it definitely has an NVMe. I feel like all consoles at this point should have an NVMe SSD for the sake of the storage, the speed, and how tiny it is. It's perfect to just fit anywhere. There's so many CUDA cores. So the Switch 2 has 1,536. The NVIDIA RTX 2050 4 gigabytes of VRAM has 2,048. The minimum for Marvel Rivals is the 1060. The fact that it's close to the 2050, I would say they're on par. I can't find a whole lot on the 1060. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. The numbers are bouncing around too much. So to compare it to a slightly better power than the minimum, because I honestly think if you have a 1060 running Marvel Rivals, it would launch the game. I don't think it would play it very well, especially with Unreal Engine 5 and DirectX 12. That is a shot in the dark for sure. So I'm just going with the spec that I think would be much better suited for Marvel Rivals. And Eurogamer is officially saying that the closest mobile component to the Switch 2 processor, while laptop RTX 2050 is the closest consumer level GPU to the Switch 2 graphics component. This is where I'm getting my information from. So I do think it will be able to run very well, probably not. However, there's always a special way that game companies can optimize for consoles. Think of Rockstar. They optimize their games beautifully, and then you can look on their PC port and think, wow, this is shite. Even if you have a more powerful PC than the console. They really work their magic. They know how to optimize games for specific hardware. I do feel like if NetEase really wanted to put it on the Switch too, they definitely could. So I wouldn't rule it out. It's just a matter of when. Because I do not believe currently that there is Steam Deck support when it comes to... Okay. So, Valve has tested Marvel Rivals already, and it says that it is playable. It does work for the controller icons, and the default graphics do work well on the Steam Deck. However, some functionalities are not accessible, and text requires manually invoking on the ink screen keyboard. Okay. So it's playable, but it's not fully compatible with the features. So if Valve is saying that it can play better, a lot of people are comparing the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch 2. I haven't looked at the specs in a long time for the Steam Deck. Obviously, they're good for different reasons, especially if you know homebrewed coffee. Switch 2 doesn't really have that. There's reasons to have either or if that is your cup of tea. Some people are saying the Switch 2 is more powerful. If that is the case, there is no excuse then for Marvel Rivals 2 not be on Switch 2. I hope they implement it so we can get more people on. Easier lobbies would be great. Easier lobbies would be great for sure. It's very entertaining and very fun to not only have it to a larger audience, but mostly kids, because listen, kids love Marvel movies. They adore Spider-Man for some odd reason. No, I'm just kidding. I know why they do it. I can't blame them. I adore Spider-Man as well. But it'd just be a lot more fun. I honestly think if they really wanted to, it could run on the PlayStation 4. But why go backwards? Just have the newer gen of PC on it. I don't really see the need to go back in time. It's not going to be the next Fortnite where it runs off of like 6 generations. I don't see that happening for Marvel Rivals unless, you know, there's a high demand for it. I don't think you can bully them into that. Yeah, hey, you can try, but maybe ask for a next-gen console for Christmas or something. I don't know, because I don't think they're going to do it. Anyway, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the edits. My take on it is that, yeah, if they can have full PlayStation controller and Xbox controller support on the Steam version, and not only that, they literally have the native consoles, I truly do not see why they can't get the Nintendo Switch 2 to work. Because listen, if it's playable on the Steam Deck, I know the developers don't worry about the Steam Deck. I feel like it's more Valve pushing it, especially for newer games, because it is a part of Steam. So obviously, they probably have some cool ass system where it just kind of like works out. I haven't looked into that yet. I would love to, but let me know what you guys think. Would you guys like to? Would you guys like to see the Nintendo Switch 2 get Marvel Rivals? Would it be another easy bot lobby, or would it be harder to do? Would it be great for challenges where you're out and about and you're on vacation, but you still need to get your Venom twerk emote? Because listen, that's what I'm thinking. Comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video, and take care of yourselves. Bye!